Well, good day and welcome to this webinar on choosing the right university for you, the right uni, the right degree, getting that choice right. My name's Rob Malicki. I'm the co-CEO of Choosing Your Uni. I've been running the Choosing Your Uni YouTube channel for over 7 years. Through that process, I've had the great fortune of visiting every university in the country and helping literally tens of thousands of students to select the right degree and the right institution for them. I've also been in higher education for over 20 years, so I've been around, and it's a pleasure for me to be able to share some of my knowledge with you this evening. Because I'm passionate about higher education opens doors. A student that's gone to university over the course of their lifetime will earn more than $1 million more than a student that hasn't finished year 12. And if you do a postgraduate degree, you can expect your weekly earnings to be about 70% higher than that student that hasn't finished year 12. Higher education transforms lives. And I want to put a real underline under that. That's what we're here about, is about opening doors and trying to find the right place for you. Now, I thought I'd start off with a couple of statistics about why we even need to have this conversation. And the reason, if we look at this spreadsheet from the Australian government's data set, is that 14.7% of students drop out of university during or at the end of their first year of study. 14.7%. What that means is that 1 in 7 students who start a degree, an undergraduate degree, the first degree at uni, will drop out of that course. If you're at one of the private universities, then that rate actually goes up a little bit. It's at 21%, so 1 in 5 students will drop out of that degree. And students who are studying at non-university higher education providers, these are private colleges and the like, that dropout rate can be as high as 1 in 3 students. Now, the question is why? Why do so many students drop out? And in fact, we've got some data about that too. Now, this table that I've brought up shows the reasons for considering leaving a degree program. And this is also data from the Australian government. It's part of the Student Experience Survey, which is conducted every year by Australian government. It's outsourced to an agency to take care of. And some of these areas really clearly show that students haven't necessarily gotten their choice right. So if they're bored or they have a lack of interest in their degree, if their expectations aren't being met, whether that's expectations around the course or expectations around the institution, a lack of connection to their institution, so they haven't been able to find the right place inside the institution, and then other things such as the difficulty with the study workload, and even the fact that the course is too difficult. This suggests is that when people are making their choice, they aren't necessarily able to access all of the information that they need in order to make the best choice for them at that particular time. Now, of course, other factors play into this. Things like life gets in the way, you have financial difficulties, somebody in your family gets sick, your mental health is suffering, you've got too much stress. These sort of things absolutely are completely legitimate reasons for not continuing with a degree program. And so what I'm not suggesting is that you should power through no matter what. Sometimes life just happens and we can't avoid that. But what we can do is be a lot more methodical about the way we choose our institution and our degree, and that will reduce the risk that these other avoidable factors might come into play and might lead to us dropping out of a degree program. So let's look at 4 reasons why people might drop out of a degree program and look at ways that we can avoid running into that trouble ourselves. Now, the first is that a student has picked the wrong subject for them. Obviously, there's so much information out there on the internet. It's quite overwhelming to try and choose a field of study that really aligns with you. And it's hard to, you don't know what you don't know. It's hard to know what a field of study will be like in the real world in terms of career, in terms of day-to-day life. Some of us have an impression that, maybe we want to become a lawyer. But if you're not really good at sitting down and just reading and reading and reading, if that's not your jive, being a lawyer is a really bad idea. Likewise, we have this sort of fixed idea about what certain careers might be like without really knowing what the day-to-day reality is. So there are a couple of tools out there that you can go and use. There's a really great inventory. It's called Morrisby, very easy to find on online. And Morrisby is like, it takes quite a long time. It takes over an hour to complete this quiz, which then sort of identifies things like your aptitudes. It costs you $50 as well. And at the end of it, it'll provide you like alignment with different sorts of areas that may or may not suit your personality. The problem with Morrisby, and there are other careers-based inventories as well, is that they don't necessarily take into account everything that is important to you. And so what we've created at Choosing Your Uni is a quiz. It's called the What to Study quiz, and it's powered by AI. It's a very different approach to anything else that's out there at the moment. I'm going to show you very quickly. When you jump into the What to Study quiz, it's going to take you through a whole bunch of questions that don't seem related to studying at all. But the beautiful thing about AI is that AI is about pattern recognition. And so, for example, if you happen to be really passionate about, for example, chess, what does chess mean about which field of study might suit you? Well, the AI is able to infer things from that. And it might, for example, pick up on the fact that chess is an analytical game. It's a bit competitive, and that, it's something that you like to play solo, but playing with somebody else. So it might infer different things from that. And from that, help inform what it suggests to you as a potential field of study. The What to Study quiz takes about 25 minutes to go through. I would argue that 25 minutes, and it doesn't cost anything, is a very good investment of time in order to really narrow down which fields of study might suit you. We've now done this quiz with hundreds and hundreds of students, and one of two things tends to happen. Either it's incredibly good validation for a student that what they've decided they'd like to study is indeed a good match for them. Or, even more exciting from my point of view, is when the AI comes at the end and makes a suggestion of something that really aligns closely with a student's personality, with their interests, their goals, their values. Something they hadn't thought of before. Remember the very first student we tested this on, she didn't really know what she wanted to do. And she went through our 25-minute quiz, and at the end, the AI processed it all and came out and said, you'd be well suited to museum and cultural studies. Museum and cultural studies. And this girl, we could see her say, what is that? I never even knew that field of study existed. And wow, I really want to do that. I could see myself working in it. And this was somebody who really had no idea what she wanted to do with her future. And that's the beauty of our AI platform, is that it helps to open doors. It helps to reveal opportunities that you might not have thought of before. And then it links those directly through to different types of studies that you can do. And from studies also links you through to different types of careers. And inside that, we've got heaps of information that you can then explore about different careers, lifestyles, those sorts of things. But even better than that, we've built an AI personality. The personality's name is Lumen. We love Lumen. And Lumen is your AI advisor. We've had this enormous data set about careers, institutions, degrees, and you can literally ask Lumen a question about anything to do with careers, fields of study, different institutions, and Lumen can provide you an answer all in one place. It's highly personalized to you, like just doing a Google search and getting a whole bunch of search results, and you don't know if they're relevant to you or not. In 25 minutes, you can explore all of that in great detail, which is very, very fun. Now, the second reason why a student might drop out of their degree is that they haven't picked the right institution. And this is where what we've created with Choosing Your Uni is really unique, because we have a tool that we've built into the platform, which is called UniMatch. And UniMatch is really designed to uncover the institutions that align with your particular interests and your particular goals. So whereas there are careers tools out there where you can explore different fields of study, there's tons of information on the internet, this is the only place where you can go in there and you can specify things like, I want to live near home, or I'm okay to move away, or the type of experience you want on campus. Do you want like a really bustling campus with lots of life? Maybe an inner city campus is going to be better suited to you. Or do you want a place with less stress, where it's more relaxed, where people are more engaging with you, smaller class sizes? Maybe a regional institution is better for you. UniMatch is the only tool on the internet where you can literally go in and put in your preferences, and it's a guided experience. And it will help reveal the right place for you to study your field of study and the institution that best aligns with your interests, your goals, your priorities. So UniMatch is the second tool that helps you, once again, identify where is the right place to study. And we've run this now hundreds of times with different students. I had a great one just a few days ago where a student who'd already pretty much decided what she wanted to study. She wanted to study psychology and she'd chosen Macquarie. Well, guess what? She was extremely reassured when her perfect uni match was psychology at Macquarie. So for that student that knows what they want to do, it's an incredible reassurance. And for those people who have no idea where to start, UniMatch is an amazing tool to help find those fields of studies and match it up with institutions that meet your particular needs. And so that's also in the platform. And that doesn't take very long at all once you've been through the field of, once you've been through the what to study quiz, UniMatch is a breeze to get through. Let's look at another thing that some people get wrong in their choice, and that's not thinking about their non-negotiables. Let's say you're playing a particular sport. Let's go back to the chess example. I love chess as an example. Let's say that having a good chess club is a non-negotiable for you when it comes to a university. We all have non-negotiables. Now, some of those non-negotiables might be it's close to home. I can live nearby. It could be about cost of living. Obviously, living in Sydney is a lot more expensive than living in a regional town or even in capital cities like Adelaide and Perth. Is it around clubs and societies? Do you really want to do an exchange program and you're looking for a particular type of experience? These are all things that may be non-negotiables for you. And sometimes we can make an assumption that all of those things are just going to be available to us at every institution, but it's not true. What's incredibly difficult, or at least was incredibly difficult before we released the Choosing Your Uni platform, was to actually search in detail for particular attributes of different universities. You would literally have to go and search one by one, University of Sydney Chess Club, and look up to see if it was there. Macquarie University Chess Club, is there one there? And go through line by line. It's an exhaustive, it's an exhausting, time-consuming process just to narrow that sort of stuff down. And you know what? People give up on it because it's been too hard. Well, now that's completely gone away because inside Choosing Your Uni, inside the platform, you can ask Lumen any of those questions and Lumen will give you answers. And what's best about Lumen is that the more specific you are with your question, the more specific the answer will be. Now, you might be wondering how we've managed to do this. Well, we've literally spent the last 12 months building our custom data set about Australian universities, doing, just countless hours and hours and hours and hours of research on all sorts of things, whether that's clubs and societies, scholarships, early entry programs, extracurricular opportunities like study abroad and exchange, leadership programs, and the like. We've done detailed research, and we've pulled this all into a format that the AI can query, meaning that when you ask your specific question, a specific comparison between a number of different institutions, Lumen is able to provide you with a personalized, detailed answer. And it's the only place on the internet that you'll find it. So when it comes to exploring those non-negotiables, this is the ultimate way to do it. It's super fast and super easy. And that's what we really want. Now, the final thing that I think a lot of students don't really think about when they're choosing their institution is all of the stuff that's outside of the academic experience. In fact, it's demonstrated in the research. The number one thing that students will think about when choosing a university is what field of study they want to do. That's normal. We're going to study a particular discipline, so you want to look that up first and foremost. Second most important thing is proximity to home. But one of the things that is often overlooked are all of the extracurricular opportunities that we might want to take advantage of when we're at a university. Having been in higher education for over 20 years, I really believe that the stuff you do outside the classroom at university is as important to your professional network, your job prospects, your skills, your soft skills, your experience, as well as fun, as what you do inside the classroom. And so we should be thinking about these when we're choosing a university. So what do I mean when I talk about extracurricular opportunities? Well, firstly, clubs and societies. Every university has clubs and societies. Every uni pretty much has a Taylor Swift appreciation society, which I think is awesome. But outside of that, you've got societies and clubs around sport, different types of interests, academic interests as well. So a law society, a science society, those sorts of things. And what you'll typically find is that the bigger the university, the more expansive its offering of clubs and societies is. Inside Choosing Your Uni, you can look up the clubs and societies from a particular institution or do comparisons between several different institutions. But thinking about the clubs and societies you might want to get involved in is a great thing to do before you hit campus. Other sorts of extracurricular activities. I'm massively passionate about learning abroad, so study abroad and exchange. This is the opportunity for you to go and spend anything from a couple of weeks up to a full year studying somewhere else in the world. And universities have got really generous funding for this. The Australian government has a scheme called the New Colombo Plan. I just happened to be involved in helping to design that program a bit over a decade ago. And the New Colombo Plan funds thousands and thousands of students, 10,000 students a year, to have international study experiences in the Indo-Pacific region. So essentially in the Pacific, up in Asia, all the way across to India. And you can get funded thousands of dollars to help you have that international study experience. That might be a study tour where you go and experience, a particular element in another country and you study over there. It can be a student exchange program for a full semester. And it can be even things like internships and volunteering programs. So checking out the learning abroad opportunities at your university is not only a great way to boost up your resume, but it's also a heck of a lot of fun. And you can check those out either on the university web pages or via Choosing Your Uni. Alongside that, the things that I'm really passionate about in terms of extracurriculars are leadership programs. Basically, every university will have some sort of leadership development course available. That might be from a careers perspective, so real skills, presentation skills, things like that, right through to more concrete leadership and management programs as well. So they're worth looking at. Volunteering and internships. These are the opportunities for you to get out into the community, out into businesses and organizations and get real world experience. Those things on a resume are absolutely invaluable. There's research going back decades now showing that employers absolutely love internships, volunteering, and these kinds of experiences on a resume. And so when you're starting to look for your field of study, what you're going to be studying, one of the things I strongly recommend you do is have a look into the detail of that program. And does it have an internship opportunity? Does it have a volunteering opportunity? An opportunity for you to get real world experience? Because when it comes to getting a job, that stuff will set you apart from other candidates. Well, we're just coming up on 20 minutes there. I've taken you through some of the statistics about the number of students that drop out and the main reasons why they drop out, and essentially the 4 things that you should be thinking about when it comes to choosing a university that might help avoid being in that situation where you might become one of those dropouts for a reason that's kind of within your control. So given that we're at 20 minutes, I'm going to wrap up this webinar now. Highly encourage you to jump on the Choosing Your Uni platform if you haven't yet joined up. It's a free platform allowing you to explore not only the fields of study, but also the careers that link to those fields of study and the individual universities. You'll find reviews of every university in Australia. It's the only place on the internet that you'll find a video review of every university in Australia, as well as interviews with people from those universities, students who've studied there and the like. So check it out, choosingyouruni.com. And aside from that, I'm now going to stand by and take any questions that you might have.